Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are when you're watching this. It's time for yet another episode of Tuesday's Walkin' and Talkin', but obviously not walking, with me, Celine Driver. Yes, here we tackle the subjects that may or may not be tough subjects, may or may not be controversial subjects, but they are generally subjects that interest me. And this subject interests me because I hear all the time, much to my annoyance, this idiotic refrain from the folks who tend to occupy the left side of the political spectrum, let's say. You know who you are. I know who you are. Good morning. And that. I'm in my backyard again, by the way. So let me fix this camera just a little bit. There we go. Always trying to make sure the Battle Angel Memorial selfie stick is in the right position. So one of the more silly refrains I hear from the left side of the political spectrum is, the rich don't pay their fair share. They should be paying their fair share. Okay. I'm actually going to agree with you, folks, on that statement, but not for the reasons you think. And the fact that that statement is so prevalent in today's society points to the absolute crime of lack of education about basic economics, about tax policy, about monetary policy, about fiscal policy, at pretty much any level in the school curriculum, save college. But I'm going to try and impart for you a little bit of knowledge. I'm going to tell you where you can find this information. This information comes from an article that was written in January of 2022 from the taxfoundation.org. This is a website. I will leave a link in the description if I remember to think about it. Good morning. And that. If I remember to do so, I'll leave a link to this article. It's a fairly easy read, even for the leftists. Can't help it. The Tax Foundation is a nonpartisan organization that seeks to disseminate tax policy and tax statistics that come from our very own imperial federal government. So the information that I'm about to impart does not come from a think tank with a political bias. This does not come from an organization with a political axe to grind. This information comes from a nonpartisan organization that pulls data directly from the IRS statistics. And if you're not going to believe the Internal Revenue Service of our own imperial federal government, then who are you going to believe, right? Anyway, these numbers come from 2019. That is the last year of complete tax information that Tax Foundation could get a hold of. You may say to yourself, but Celine Driver, it's 2022 when you're making this video. That's 3 years out of date. Well, you know what, folks? Considering the inefficiencies of the federal government in general, and the IRS in particular, especially in the post-Wuhan Red Death era, you're lucky that you're getting tax information and statistics from this century. So don't at me. This is the best information I have. Now I have these copious notes here, so I'll be looking at them to refer. In 2019, for example, taxpayers filed 148.3 million tax returns, reportedly earning nearly $11.9 trillion in adjusted gross income, and paid $1.6 trillion in individual income tax. So about 148 million returns were filed and generated about $1.6 trillion in tax revenue. The top 1%, those evil rich people, the ones that do all the business creation and all the hiring and the investing and that sort of thing, covering the old saying, I never got a job from a poor person. The top 1% paid 25.6% average individual income tax rate, which is more than 7 times higher than the taxpayers in the bottom 50%, 3.5%. The share of reported income earned by the top 1% of taxpayers fell to 20.1% from 20.9% in 2018. The top 1% share of federal income, individual income tax, fell to 38.8% from 40.1%. The top 50%, now I want you leftists to pay attention here. The top 50% of all taxpayers in the United States in 2019 paid 97% of all individual income taxes. The bottom 50% paid 3%. The top 1% paid a greater share of individual income taxes, 38.8%, than the bottom 90% combined, 29.2%. Pay your fair share, sir and or madam? It would seem to me from these statistics so far that the top 1% is paying more than its fair share. The bottom 50% is paying almost nothing. The bottom 50% is getting a free ride. Here, more statistics for you. Share of total income taxes paid. Now, this chart is available online. I will leave a link to this chart so you can look at it. Share of total income taxes paid in 2019. Top 1%, 38.8%. Top 5%, 59.4%. So the top 5% pays more than half the taxes in this country. Top 10% pays 70.8%. So almost 3/4 of the taxes paid in this country are paid by the top 10% of federal income tax payers. Top 25% pays 86.6%. Almost 87% are paid by 1/4 of us out there. And the top 50% pay roughly 97% of all federal income taxes. The bottom 50% pay 3%. It would seem to me, my fellow taxpayers, that there is a significant percentage of people not paying their fair share. That's the bottom 50%. They're getting a free ride. 3% of all income taxes are paid by the bottom 50%. Let's see, what else I got here? Let's see. No, that's pretty much all I wanted to point out. So, if you leftists, and God love you, you're going to stick to your guns, and there's no way anything I say in this video is going to change your mind. As a matter of fact, you're probably going to come at me in the comments. Comment down below. I read them all. I respond to them all, except for the troll stuff, which I delete. You're going to just say, well, this and that. You're not going to believe anything I say here. You're probably not even going to believe the statistics that were generated by the IRS themselves. They hold all the tax data. This data is readily available from the IRS itself. It's just in this version, it's more condensed and more easily readable and accessible. The top 50%. I'm sorry. Yes. Let me repeat that. The top 50% of taxpayers in this country pay 96.6%. Near as near makes no difference. 97% of the taxes in this country. The bottom 50% are paying nearly nothing. Pay your fair share. You know what? I agree with you. Pay your fair share, bottom 50%. Maybe we wouldn't be $30 trillion in debt and counting, and be running deficits in the hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars. Maybe get off your asses and get to work and start paying taxes and start kicking in instead of sucking the marrow from the bones of the rest of us who are working to support you, and the fact that you, the bottom 50%, don't pay anything. Pay your fair share, bottom 50%. Come up a little more. Anyway, that's the way I see it. Pay your fair share. It would seem to me that a lot of us are paying more than our fair share already. And we are taxed enough already. That's the way I see it, my friends. You see it differently? Have at it. Down below in the comments section. The numbers don't lie, folks, and neither do I. This is your boy, Celine Driver, and I am out.